I got a telephone call from the former pastor of the Westfield Presbyterian Church in New Jersey, who had married my wife and me many years ago. And he said, there's a little group of people in Scotch Plains, New Jersey, who would like to start a church. And they've asked me to start it for them. And he said, I said yes to them, but I'm going to Florida for a month this winter. Would you like to come up and practice preaching to this group of people in this non-church? So I said, okay, Betty and I, why not just spend our Sundays doing this? Before I ever got there, he had a heart attack and died. And I, as a senior in seminary, inherited this non-group of people. So we moved up there every weekend, and finally they said to me, Doctor, how do you start a church? So I said, well, the first thing you do is that you have to have a group of people who have a common faith in the Lord Jesus Christ. And one of the men looked at me, slapped me on the knee. He says, Doctor, tell us what to believe and we'll believe it. Well, being in the pulpit is certainly a different scene. I love the eye contact out to people. But the interesting thing is the temptation is to talk to the people in the front row where you can see their faces clearly. But you know, an interesting thing is the late 60s were very similar to today in that there was a cultural change taking place, and the way of linking the church with the culture had to change. God is not confined by either time or space, and therefore God, through His Spirit, is right in this room with us right now. When we were first over here, we went to First Presbyterian Church uptown. I heard that Kathy Wiggins was the pastor of the chapel. I didn't know her, but I had known her husband, and I heard his wife was the pastor over there. So Betty and I said, it's a little closer than the first church. Why don't we go over and try it? And we went over and immediately fell in love with it. I feel the church is very open and very inviting people and concerned for them. And when I've had problems of various kinds, especially when my wife died and so forth, they've been very, very supportive.